Yeah, hi, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are welcome back to today's lesson. And today we are going to talk about principles and techniques of music composition. Principles and techniques of music composition. We have already started it, and now we are going to continue. This is the first time we are meeting, so we are going to continue. Now, today, we will start revising ourselves with what we call the scale. We have already explained it, but we also want to repeat it. The scale is an orderly or arrangement of musical notes in ascending or descending. Now, if you say scale, this is how I am going to do it on the board for you to see. On the staff, we have the staff like this, like that. Then you draw your treble clef, put it in like this, and then from there, so we are going to draw a scale of C. You already know. C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is a scale. It's a scale. Now, when it is moving up like this, it is in ascending order. When you are coming down, it's the same thing. You come this way, that way, that way, that way, that way. Last one, and then the C, you get it. So both ascending and descending. So when you see it's an arrangement, it's like this. This is how the scale behaves. So if you are giving, or if you want to sing it, if you want to sing it, you write do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So the do will become here. Now as we are descending, it becomes ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, like this. So we have the scale. If you want to sing it, you sing it this way. But in terms of sound, that is how it goes. That is the scale. Now we continue. We talk about types of scale. The scale is made up of types. And for now, we are going to limit ourselves in studying 3 main types of scale. 3 main types. And the types are these. The first one is called diatonic scale. It's called diatonic scale. Diatonic. Then the second one is called chromatic scale. Chromatic scale. And then the third one is also called minor scale. So we have these three types. This is what we are going to limit ourselves to. Have diatonic, chromatic, and minor scale. These are the 3 types of scale that we are going to talk after. Now we move ahead. We move on. Now, when we say diatonic scale, diatonic scale is a type of scale. The notes start from the tonic. The note starts from the tonic through to the octave. So like we saw in the first one. You have this. You have that. So it says diatonic. The first note is the tonic. So we start from tonic to the octave. So starting from this way through to the octave here, up to this end. So from this end up to the last end here, that is called diatonic scale. So the one we have been singing, where you have, it can be both ascending and descending, like we have already said, where you have third and fourth in diatonic scale, third and fourth, 1, 2, 3, third and fourth, then seventh and eighth, 1, 2, seventh and eighth is always a semitone. These are the degrees. 7th and 8th, 10th and 4th, they are semitones. So in every diatonic scale, the difference is that 3rd and 4th degrees. So like if you are saying degrees, you have this 1st, 2nd, 3rd, this is the 4th, this is the 5th, this is the 6th, this is the 7th, and then the eighth one. This is the eighth one. So 10 and 4th. 1, 2, 3, 4. 10 and 4th. Then you have 7th and 8th. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7th and 8th. So 7 and 8. So always in diatonic scale, the 3rd and 4th and the 7th and 8th are semitones. Now when you are singing them, it's do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So ti, do, and then mi, fa are always a semitone in diatonic scale. That is that. We move on. Then chromatic scale. In chromatic scale, you have this. In chromatic scale, says this is when the accidentals are placed. So this one, diatonic, there's no accidental. We have already talked about accidental, so you know them. In it, you have chromatic, you have accidentals in between them. That is, when you say accidental, we are talking about sharp. The sharp is placed in between them. So the sharp is placed, you have do, which is natural, but when the sharp is placed against do again, it becomes D. So we have do, D, re, mi. So you have do, D, D, re, mi, fa, because the third is a semitone, so you don't have anything there. Then you have fi, so, si, la, li, ti, and do. So that is, so we have chromatic scale. These are the fi, si, li. The ones that we have there is talking about what we call the chromatic scale. So we say that sharp signs or sharp sign is applied to all the notes in the ascending except 3rd and 4th and then the 7th and 8th. So you can see that between 3rd and 4th here and then 7 and 8 there is no sharp. So that is that. Now in the flat 2, when you are coming down, the flat are also applied. The flat are also applied to that. We shall talk about that one. And then, so we continue. Minor scale. Minor scale begins with supermedian. Very soon, the next point we are going to talk about the technical names, so you get to know of them. So the minor scale starts from the median, supermedian note, and ends on the same supermedian. Just like the diatonic scale, where you start from tonic to tonic. Now, minor, you start from the median to the next supermedian note, and that is what we are also going to see. Let's talk about. Let's see it. So we have this. So we talk about the median and supermedian. So we start from T, La, Ti, Do, Re, Mi. So we have La, Ti, so La is here. So La, Ti, Do, Re, Mi, Fa, So, La. So it ends here from here up to this end. So that is the La is the supermedian and ends up on the supermedian, which is, so minor start from supermedian and ends at upper also supermedian. So we go to the next one. Now we try to see, we have mentioned some terms, the notes for some terms. Although I want to explain what is meant by supermedian, what is meant by tonic, what is meant by that. So we are going to explain ourselves with that. Let's quickly do that. Now, anytime the tonic is always called, the tonic whose do is the tonic, that is the first degree. So it's called first degree. First degree. Then the second one, re, becomes supertonic becomes supertonic. And that's the second degree. Second degree, supertonic. Second, that is re, we are singing it becomes second degree. And then we have the next one, which is also called median. The third one, which is called median. Median, and that is the third degree. The third degree. Third degree. Third degree. Then from there you get subdominant. Subdominant, that is also fourth. Subdominant. Subdominant, that is also the fourth degree. The fourth degree. Subdominant. So from median, you go to subdominant, and then the next one is called dominant. Dominant, and that is the fifth degree. So if you are singing it, that is how it goes. Then you have supermedian. Supermedian, which is the sixth degree. Supermedian. That is the sixth degree. And then you have the leading note. That's the last one. Leading note. Leading note. And that is the seventh degree. So then you come back to the tonic. So the next tonic, you call it octave. Octave, which is the eighth degree. Octave. So it's the same repetition of the tonic, but it's the high. Octave means the eighth degree of it. So you have that. So these are that. You'll get them on the slide when you place there. So you have tonic, supertonic, median, subdominant, dominant, supertonic, supermedian, and then leading note. Then you come to the octave. So these are the technical. In our next point, we are going to talk about chords and triads. What are chords and what are triads? And we are saying that chords are two or more musical notes played or sounded together. Two or more musical notes sounded together. So chords can be 3 notes, it can be 4 notes, or more than that. Chords are built on intervals of third, fourth, and the note. So, like for example, you can build a chord like this: 1, 2, and then 3. These are chords. These are chords. So you have 1, 2, 3. It means that anytime you want to play, you play them together at a time. Play them together at a time. So these are chords. They are 3. Is that okay? So you can get chords like this. Chords. You can get chords like this, or repeated like that, or this. So you can get a chord like this. Now, there are 3. It can be 3, it can be 4. The first note is called the root. This one. The one here is called the root. It's called the root. And then you have the second one, and then the third. So in between each, the first root, from the next note to the next note is third. We call it third. You count the third position. 1, 2, 3. So it's a third. So the middle one is a third. Then the next one, move to 1, 2, 3. Right? And then you go to the fifth. So we have chords. We have do, mi, so. Do, mi, so. So you have do, mi, so. That is the fifth line. So you have these 3. Do, re, mi, fa, so. So you have it as chords. And the third, so you have root, third, and fifth. The fifth is counting from the first one up to that. The next note, the third note is called the fifth. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 1, 2, 3, third. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is the fifth. So we have that. This is the chord. The chord can be built on any note. So we can build it on any of the notes we have explained. So you can start a chord and build this one. So you can also build another one, third, and the fifth 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is also another chord. You can also build it. You can also build another one like this and that. You can also build another one here, this way, and 2, 3, 4, 5. So this way. So all these are chords. You can build them this way, and that way. So these are all chords. Or they are chords. So it can be. Now, one thing in the chord is that when you start from the root, the next one, which is the fourth one, it repeats itself. That is the repetition of the root. The repetition of the root. So that is chord. Those are chords. So we have that. Now we say that chords can be built on any note from tonic through to the octave. Now we know all these things, so we will not explain. We know them. So as we are going along, we are using them. So you can continue. So if you write that, you can see that this is the tonic. So do, re, mi, fa, so. So you can continue up to the octave. You can continue up to octave. And those are chords. These are chords. Now we say triads. We say triads. What are they? The difference between a chord and a triad is that for chords, they can be 4 or more. But for triads, they are only 3. That is the root, third, and the fifth. Root, third, and the fifth. So triads consist of only 3 notes sounded together. Triads, that is the meaning, triad, 3 notes. The fundamental note on the triads are built, and it's called the root, third, and fifth. So you can call, when you see 1, 2, 3 like this, it can be triads. But when you add up the next one, which is the tonic, fourth one, repetition. So the next one becomes here, and the next one will go this one, this way like that. So as you are building to get four notes like this, then you are getting the chord. The chord can be more than 3, but the triads are 3 notes: the root, third, and the fifth. A triad can be built on every degree of the scale in any key. So we can build it in any key. So let's take note of that. Let's take note of the chord. And we have categories. Of course, we have categories. That might be the first lesson. We will be learning up, running up in this area. Categories of chords. The chords are categorized into 2 main categories. Then we have categories of chords. We have 2 main categories. We have primary chord, primary, and then secondary. We have primary chord and secondary chords. What are primary chords? If you see primary chords. Now, within the chords we have, as we mentioned, we have 1. This is the chord 1, chord 2, chord 3, chord 4, chord 5, and then you can get chord 6, also chord 6, which is VI, this, and then chord 7, and so on and so forth. So we have these chords. We have these chords. Now, out of these chords, we have put them into groups. We have the ones that are called primary, and we have the ones that are also called secondary. So the primary chords are 1. You have chord 1. And then you have chord 4. And then you have chord 5. 1, 4, 5. We normally use a Roman italics to represent these ones. So that is why we have chord 1, 4, and 5. These are the primary chords. Anytime you say primary chords, we talk about chord 1, 4, and 5. Chord 1, 4, and chord 5. These are the primary chords. Then, when we talk about, so he says that these are fundamental chords that are built on the tonic, the subdominant, and dominant. So we have primary chords, we have tonic, low, then chord 4, subdominant, fa, and then chord 5. So these are the primary chords we built on them. And then we talk about the secondary chords has chords 2, chords 3, and then we have what? Chord 6. These are the secondary chords. These are the secondary chords. And that also we build on the supertonic, which is the re, and then we have the median, mi, and then supermedian notes, which is also called the la. So supermedian, that is a la. So these are the groups, categories of course that we can talk about. Now, in the next lesson, we will also try to see what are the other aspects. We will still have other techniques, technical terms and meanings and all that in music. And their basics, we have to get to understand them. If you don't get them, we are going to be in trouble. So in our next lesson, we shall try as much as possible to give you the various technical terms and how to go about writing melodies. Because we are going to use all these things in writing our music. When you say write a melody, you know what it means. So on this note, I'll say thank you, and we thank you for listening, and we'll continue. Bye-bye.